Hello folks, this is Steve AB4EL. Well, it looks like it's really end of an era and I anticipated it perfectly. Now, you know, my good twin had another YouTube channel which started way back, and in the last couple of weeks, last 2 weeks, I've been making a number of trips to the landfill. You know what these things are, right? Well, all the archived stuff for all those almost 3,000 videos were on CDRs, recordable CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays. Because when Blu-rays came out, instead of being limited to 4 gigs, I could do 25 gigs and then 50 gigs. But I spent a whole amount of time reading those old discs onto my 16 terabyte hard drive. Now, the drive is about the size of this, but this is something else. I didn't know the ongoing news, and just this week there was something on Slashdot. LG discontinues Blu-ray players. Tom's Hardware. I'm not promoting anything. I'm not recommending anything. LG stops making Blu-ray players, marking the end of an era. Limited units remain while inventory lasts. Buy them while you can. See that? Exploded disc. Exploded disc accident, now misbehaving as DVD writer. This was a Blu-ray writer. Yes, it can read them. That I used to burn one of the three that I forked out big money for, that you could put in a PC. It sort of works, but I have 2 good ones. Matter of fact, one's right there, still left sitting there from the work I was doing, getting everything onto the 16 terabyte external hard drive. 4 copies, 4 16 terabytes. But the point is, I was able to put all on one device that's about the size of this, hundreds of DVDs and Blu-rays, hundreds. Now, I still have some BD-R, that's their way of saying Blu-ray, writable, readable, DL, double layer. See, these are 50 gigabytes. The first Blu-rays were 25 gigabytes, and they were what was called single layer. Why not talk about stuff that's obsolete? So there's 49 comments. In a disappointing turn of, first time I'm reading it, in a disappointing turn of events, Flash Panels HD, which is some website, reports that LG, that's the name of the company, has ended production of its Blu-ray player series, and this is what models, with limited stock available. In other words, you mean when you go and you get those movies, you get them on Blu-ray? Prospective buyers should quickly act to secure the last remaining units before they're sold out. Now here's what I didn't know. In addition, after Samsung and Sony's departure from physical media, I can interpret that. They're saying goodbye DVDs, goodbye Blu-rays, goodbye, bye-bye. Just like in the old days used to be VHS tapes. Can you still get them? Bye-bye. Do you remember that? LG was one of the last major manufacturers of Blu-ray players and burners. There's the ones that are manufactured that they put the movies on or whatever, but there's the ones where you put your data on there so you could cram 50 gigabytes worth. Why would they be going out of that? In my case, it's obvious. I've got a 16 terabyte hard drive that shames this stuff now. And I can retrieve the data from the hard drive literally 20 to 50 times faster than what this is capable of being read at, let alone burned at. But that's the advancement of technology and competition between technologies, right? One of the reasons for these coming into existence was it looked like hard drives had hit a limit, both for speed and capacity. So this stuff was invented. And then the hard drive people said, we're not dead yet. In the 1980s, I remember my girlfriend and I sitting there playing a movie. What was the one about Saudi Arabia, the British guy in the First World War? Lawrence of Arabia, from a laser disc. Wait a minute. Movies on Laserdisc. Jaws, Star Wars, The Lion King, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There it is, Laserdisc. Laserdisc movies for sale. See how big they were? You see how big they were? See that one right there? See how big they were? Because the technology didn't allow the track density. You see it was the same thing with floppy drives. The first floppy drives were in a thing that was like this, and then you ended up with, by the time they were displaced by, right? Same process. Blu-ray players aside, even physical discs are at risk of extinction. Last year, Best Buy quit its Blu-ray and DVD business following market trends. The report mentions that LG Korea didn't exactly. The ramifications of this change are profound, not only for enthusiasts and not the general public. This brings up the hot topic of digital ownership, meaning what you have on them and you can't play it 50 years from now, 10 years from now, because the players wear out. They're not even talking about burners. You think they're going to keep making burners for people like me to stick into their computers? The latest 2016 manufactured computers that I bought don't even have a DVD player. Right? Okay. So I did a search. LG Blu-ray discontinued. So it's all over the news. Tech Radar, Ars Technica, PC Mag. LG discontinues Blu-ray players, pulls them off website. And then it says here, the optical disc onslaught continues with LG quitting Blu-ray. This was posted 6 hours ago. We're talking about current news. And they're citing the same people, Flat Panels HD. Okay, here it is, 5 hours ago. Flat Panels HD, never been there before. Failed to load website properly since html-load.com is blocked. Please allow You mean my Malwarebytes browser guard probably is killing them? Oh, you mean it isn't just that video site that I run into trouble with something blockers? Never mind. I guess I can't read the original report everybody's talking about. Boing, boing, LG to ends Blu-ray. So then I said, Blu-ray writers. That's what this was. Yes, it can play a Blu-ray movie, but this writes them on the correct disc. It can write a DVD, a CD. Yes, it can. It's all backwards compatible. But it can, one of the videos I put up long ago was when I spent the money for 100 gigabyte quad layer Blu-ray. 100 gigabyte. Newegg Blu-ray burners. Now this is the model. We'll go to Amazon. I'm not promoting anything. This is the model that I own. Now, this note about the explosion, the date is 2015, February 5th. And it was already like 2 or 3 years old. This is the model that I own. LG Electronics WH16N. The first one I got was WH14N, a slightly earlier model. WH16N S40 16X Blu-ray DVD CD multi-compatible internal, meant to go in a computer, SATA, not IDE, rewriter, that's what they call them, supports what's known as M-Disc, was a certain kind of format. 22% off, $68. So if I really had a lot of stuff left over, I'd buy that right now. But I do have 2 good working ones. And I have no reason to be burning anymore. In 50 years, I'll be able to sell each of the discs in here for maybe $100 each. Betcha. Let's see if there's any others. Because this basically dominated the burner market for Blu-ray. Oh, there you go. There's the WH-14, and it's priced higher, slightly higher. See? WH-14. Best duplicator, LG 24X. I never owned one of those. M-Disc support DVD burner. That's not Blu-ray. Hitachi UHD Blu-ray drive burner, $118. See how thin it is? Never used one of those. Why would I pay $122? Arrives after Christmas. Usually ships in 7 to 10 days. And the reason is it's not being shipped by Amazon itself. It's somebody else. There's a thin one one offered from $73. But that's a DVD RW. That's not it. This is DVD. Hitachi LG DVD. So if you go to Amazon, how many brands are in the Blu-ray burner business? See, the article I kicked off was player. Burner's different. Blu-ray burner. Blu-ray burner, external USB 3. Let's try that. Asus, I've never seen this before. Blu-ray drive 16X. $124. Amazon selling it. Buy it while you can, folks. M-Disc support, USB interface, Asus. I think that's the other name I saw in the article. Wow, there are just so many people making Blu-ray burners for you and me. I'm just having fun. Reddit. Best Blu-ray burner on the market in 2024. The Reddit is Data Hoarder. A buy-it-for-life Blu-ray writer that you can use to archive discs with until the technology is deprecated or something better comes along. Let's look at it, because it's January 2024, which is way out of date. I'm thinking that an internal drive would first blah, blah, blah. I've also heard musings that Pioneer is the best brand, so that might be another brand. But there really aren't many other OEMs and manufacturers still making. If you were prepared to spend whatever it takes to get the very best hardware, what product on the market today would you purchase? Remember when I bought them 10 years ago. He recommends Pioneer. Mechanically, those top loader ones are probably the worst wear design. So they're off topic already. Yes, you can duplicate BDRs, Blu-ray discs, very easily. You have to do it manually, of course. Well, that's right. You're not a factory. Pioneer is my brand to go. I found external units on Amazon that were sold as verbatim. They have a Pioneer drive inside. I'll bet you that Asus has actually got an LG inside. Because I can't show you how this is arranged here. I kind of put one together. What I did is I have a external hard drive USB 3 thing you slide it into, and then it reads that and connects it to the computer. Well, I don't put a drive in there. I have a special connector cable that connects to the SATA, and the other end of it connects to the back of the Blu-ray, and it can't fit in the and that's how I did it. So what they do is they just do the equivalent to that, but they make a case and they slide it in there. They charge you an extra $100. Ah! Okay, so I've beat this to death. Let me read it again. Exploded disc. It was a CD. It was one of my very first CDs that I ever burned. So by the time I was doing it, it was already like 10 years old. And I could see that the plastic from ozone and all that stuff had already cracked. And when it spun up in this, it exploded. Big, but why? Let's see if everything's out there. Do old CDs explode? Why do old CDs explode so much? Old CDs, it says explore. D. Why do old CDs explode so much? And they want to say, are old CDs worth any money? Will old CDs be worth it? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a double quote. See, my mind wanders, but I'm exploring. All right, now, just to show you it's not a unique experience. Reddit, 130 comments 2 years ago. A CD exploded in my external drive. Audio on for, and then he's showing, because it wrecks the inside of it. It spins up, and then suddenly, you know, like 9/11, how it suddenly collapsed? Well, so this guy says, this happened to me in the mid-2000s. My dad pulled out the pieces, nowhere near as powdery. Put them in a Ziploc bag, and we mailed them to Electronic Arts with a handwritten note from me about what happened. So he was trying to get a replacement. Amazingly, an entirely new copy of the game showed up in the mail couple. Oh, that's great! How does that even happen? The answer is centrifugal. He says centrifugal force, centrifugal force, not centrifugal force, centrifugal force, buddy. Possible cracks? I had that happen to me once years ago with my Brood War disc. Had to take it apart, the whole drive, and to remove all the little pieces to get it running again. But at least he got his drive running again. This one still runs, but it doesn't work right. It's misaligned. I'm just having fun. Yes, it's the end of an era for me, too. I've moved on to the next stage in technological advancement. But it isn't AI. See, I had to mention the AI. You understand that I started in 1983, so I've seen each of these successive, I'll call them technological breakthroughs with respect to computers. Pick any part that is needed to compose a computer, and I have seen the progressions, and then the obsolescence. I also have a feeling that for the time cycle that it takes to go from, oh, this is a brand new, wonderful invention, to you actually be able to use it practically without spending $1 billion. And the propaganda push with AI completely outdoes everything that ever in the past has happened. Propaganda, hoopla, call it what you want. Self-advertisement. Give me your money. Invest in me. I'm a genius. Steve A. before you. LG stops making Blu-ray players, marking the end of an era. Thanks, see you at 73.